So, this absolutely is not the video that I thought we would be making about the Edmonton Oilers, but I did think this was interesting enough to bring up, especially when you consider the implication here. Everybody who is not an Edmonton fan is gonna click on this video, see the thumbnail, see the title, and be like, okay, what? Lego, you are crazy stupid, bro. What is this? And I like that. Not because, I am stupid. Okay, I kind of am a little bit. But, there is reason to fight against this idea. Let's go out there and refer to a Twitter post made by Sid. He goes out there and says this, that Cale Makar is the best defenseman in the NHL. Okay, is that controversial? No, not at all. I think if most people were asked to build an NHL team from scratch, they would choose Cale Makar as their number 1D. Some would probably choose Quinn Hughes, others would choose Adam Fox, but Cale Makar, I think, is the more popular choice for best defenseman in the world right now. He can have a bad season, like he had just had in 2023-2024, and he may lose out on some Norrises because of it, but capability-wise, ceiling-wise, top-tier player-wise, I think Cale Makar is number 1. Sid, though, says, even though Cale Makar is the best defenseman in the league, I find it fascinating how often people downplay Evan Bouchard because he plays with McDavid, while not mentioning how his results away from McDavid and Draisaitl are considerably superior to Makar's results away from McKinnon. Okay, we are starting a war here today, baby! Take a look at this post made and the graphic attached to it, Cale Makar versus Evan Bouchard at 5-on-5. This data was compiled by Natural Stat Trick from 2022-2023 to 2023-2024, so a 2-year sample size. Take a look at the goal differentials and expected goal differentials for Cale Makar with and without Nathan MacKinnon, and Evan Bouchard with and without McDavid, as well as without McDavid and Draisaitl. When Cale Makar plays with Nathan MacKinnon, the goal differential for the Avalanche is 60%, and the expected goal differential is 56%. When Cale Makar plays without Nathan MacKinnon, the goal differential on the ice is 45%, so less than 50, it's negative. The Avalanche have scored 31 goals for and had in 38 against when Makar is out there without MacKinnon. The expected goal differential, though, it's up there at 52%, so the Avalanche still do create more offense than their opponents when Makar is out there without MacKinnon, but they do let in more goals. Meanwhile, when Bouchard plays with McDavid, the Oilers score 91 goals, and they have given up 56, so the goal differential is 62%. The expected goal differential, though, it is also the same, 63% there. But when Evan Bouchard is without McDavid, and even without Draisaitl too, he still has positive goal differential numbers and even higher expected goal differential numbers. Bouchard without McDavid is at a 54% goal differential, 57% expected goal differential. Bouchard without McDavid and Draisaitl, 52% goal differential, which is very good, that's positive, and then 57% expected goal differential. Evan Bouchard, when he is not playing with McDavid and Draisaitl, still is part of an Oilers team that is able to have a higher expected goal differential than Cale Makar when he plays with Nathan MacKinnon. That is absolutely bananas. And I get it, hey, are you saying that you'd have Bouchard over Makar? No, I'm not saying that. Are you saying that Bouchard is better than Makar? No, I'm not saying that. Individual talent-wise, I'd say the only thing that Evan Bouchard has over Cale Makar, I'd say, is pure raw hard shooting ability. And maybe shot selection as well, deciding when to shoot it. But Bouchard does shoot, a lot in high volumes, so maybe that's just a difference in their style. But everything else, I'd say passing, vision, mobility especially, Cale Makar is better than Evan Bouchard. But the fact that Evan Bouchard is still able to have much better numbers with and without McDavid and Draisaitl compared to Makar when he's out there with MacKinnon even, that is pretty nuts. And some of the extra thoughts in the replies go out there and highlight that. Again, Sid says, in no way am I implying that Bouchard is better. I also thought I saw some Avs fans say that Makar played injured for a significant portion of 23-24, although his metrics in 22-23 without MacKinnon are still worse than Bouchard's metrics away from McDavid. But my point is that Bouchard is an elite defenseman in his own right. The notion that he is solely a power play specialist and defensive liability propped up by McDavid is not supported by factual evidence. And one of the big things that people will go out there and ask is, okay, but what about Bouchard's line mate? He plays with Ekholm, who is one of the best defensemen in the NHL. Sometimes. That's a really weird thing to say, but yeah, sometimes. Like, Ekholm, I don't think anybody was really tossing out that best defenseman in the league label on Ekholm, like, 6 months ago, but during that playoff run, oh my goodness, this guy, like, you see some of the underrated, undervalued defensive shutdown heroes make their presences known on their teams. Guys who are never gonna get the bag, guys who are never gonna win a Norris, guys who are probably never gonna get 80 points in a season or 90 points in a season like a Yossi or a Bouchard or a Hughes, but Mattias Ekholm, Gustav Forsling, Nico Mikkola, some of these guys are tough as nails and they are solid defensively. Ekholm was one of the best defensemen on the planet during that 2024 playoff run, and the question is, how does Bouchard play without Ekholm? Here is the reply. Bouchard has a 65% expected goals percentage away from Ekholm in 346 minutes time on ice this season. Also, it's not like Makar plays to some scrub. His D partner is Devon Toews, lol. And honestly, I have a difficult time thinking about, like, okay, Devon Toews versus Mattias Ekholm, who's better? Honestly, my immediate instinct says Ekholm, but that might just be recency bias, so I can't go out there and definitively say that. But either way, the Bouchard numbers carrying him in this conversation, it is quite staggering to look at. There are some other replies here bringing up some interesting points. There's a big difference between the two when you watch them carry the puck. Bouchard is nowhere near Makar as far as rushing the puck up ice. Bouchard is great at getting the puck at the point and getting shots through for tips and getting points. Yep, I'm not arguing that Bouchard is better at all. Makar's end-to-end rushes are fantastic to watch, but Bouchard's style is not based around puck carrying up the ice in the first place. He prefers to make a stretch pass from the D-zone to get the puck into the forwards, and that is something that he excels at. Which is also something that I think is worth pointing out as well. When it comes to these graphs, expected goals for percentage, differentials, and everything, it's all just based on goals. If you score a goal, you get it. You get the extra little tick in your statistical category right there. And these numbers that we are looking at are strictly based off of goals. They don't talk to you about how Cale Makar plays. They don't talk to you about how Cale Makar likes to rush the puck up with speed. They don't talk about how Evan Bouchard doesn't really ever do that. It doesn't talk about how Cale Makar is super dynamic in the offensive zone and how his skating, his edges, his pivots are elite. One of the best skaters in the world right now. It doesn't talk to you about how Evan Bouchard is a lot slower and a lot more methodical and a lot more intentional with where he decides to go on the ice with regards to creating offense. He'll always be going to an open pocket of space to try to drive the puck through, or he'll move over to the side to open up a lane. He is very methodical. It's different, but it's not necessarily better or worse. The numbers, however, the on-ice results in terms of goals and assists and everything, they do favor Evan Bouchard. So I did think this was interesting enough to go out there and make a video about. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Evan Bouchard and how crazy this is for the Edmonton Oilers, how he can legitimately compare to and supersede Cale Makar in a number of very important on-ice statistics. Do you think this is worth thinking about? Do you think there's more to it? If you had to start a franchise from scratch, who would you take first, Bouchard or Cale Makar? I think the easy answer is Makar, but just for the theatrics, you can entertain me in the comment section below with your thoughts. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.